Hey, live from beautiful Hamburg, New York, South Park, 650, the old-fashioned bug in the back. I am Nate McMurray, and I am here with more of our team than usual because we're getting ready for the Get Out the Vote effort.
Woo! Woo!
A little slow. Get out the vote effort. Get out the vote effort. Hey, Yailing. Yailing Chen is watching. Hey, Yailing, you're a great kid. I love you. You're a great kid. Kimberly's watching. John is watching. Kelly Doe's watching. Jill's watching. Of course, Polly's watching. Robert Tompkins. Hey, Robert. Thanks for all your support. So I want to give you guys, we'll start off with an update of the race. Ready? The update's like this. There is, boy, I got to look it up. Well, tell me, Hunter, how many total ballots cast about that we know of? That we know of, right?
73,000.
73,000. It's a lot of votes, and especially for a special election. The last special election was how many? Approx. Anyone remember?
Somebody get Rich Horner on the line.
How many votes approximately? Well, we were hoping this would be about a 30 to 40,000 election vote, approximately that type of universe, and we're already at 70. 73,000 votes. 73,000 votes, and it's a lot of votes. So it breaks down about 48% Democrat. Okay, 48% Democrat. About what? 30% Republican among the votes cast so far, and about 10% everything else. All right, do I have these numbers right? I'm obviously not. My head's somewhere else. The bottom line is we're up. We're up about 1.5 to 1 was what our guess is. Now, we haven't opened the ballots, so we don't know. Maybe a lot of Democrats voted for somebody else. We doubt it. Maybe we don't know what the case is, but we're feeling pretty good about where we are right now. But we will lose, and we could lose badly if we don't turn out the vote on Tuesday. That's it. That's the sobering reality. If we do not turn out the vote on Tuesday, we will have a loss. So I need you to turn the vote out on Tuesday. So I don't know what I can say to do that. What can we help people to do to get the vote out? What efforts are we taking? Austin, you want to share anything from off screen here? U plus two. U plus two. Everybody, U plus two. So we're pushing out the message to the local committees. We had our weekly committee meeting update tonight. How'd it go, guys?
Great. Our chairs are ready.
Our chairs are ready.
They're doing what they need.
Thank you to Michael Plitt. Thank you for Michael Plitt. Great to see you at the Juneteenth party out there in Batavia today. Great to see you and Erica. Thank you for all you do, Michael Plitt.
And Lori Longy.
And Lori, thank you too. Lori at the BOE, it was good to see you. I know how hard you're working. And I want to say that to everybody out there. Thank you to all the hard work to the BOE. Are we putting that message out there?
We have to do it more.
But are we going to do what we talked about? We should, because, you know, a lot of these people are really working hard, and a lot of these people are our friends, and we care about them. It's not fair what they've gone through. What I mean, what they've gone through is they're dealing with this huge number of votes, and they have to screen them and go through all the paperwork. It's a very difficult job. I understand that 100%. We tried hard to get additional funding to the BOEs to help them with this process. We knew it would be difficult. And we're also concerned about some of the problems we're seeing. Some of the problems include numerous ballots not being just showing up today. Is that what we heard now? So people just received their ballots this morning in some places.
Some people asked for all ballots and only got the presidential.
Right,
Democrats are being registered as libertarians.
right. Well, Democrats being registered, is that really?
That was in Monroe, I think outside the district, but yeah.
Wow.
Elections are overwhelmed.
Yeah, the BOE is overwhelmed, and I think I do have a problem, and I'll say it boldly. I have a problem with the way the early voting was handled. Nobody even knows about it, and the people that are voting are some of the hardcore Republicans in early voting, some of the Trump supporters, because they're motivated, guys. They're motivated to beat me badly, so they know about early voting, but not many other people do. And I'm afraid too many people think this is a primary for the Republican Party, and they don't realize it's a special election. So that's where I need you guys. I know you're trying so hard. I read the Buffalo News this morning, and I saw those op-eds, and that was fantastic. Okay, let's see the comments out there. One moment, please. One moment. Hey, Marion, how are you? Who are we talking about? Hey, Peter. Thanks for all your support. Hey, Sandy. Sandy Shelnoff. Can we get a hello to Sandy Shelnoff?
Hi,
Hi,
Sandy.
Sandy.
See you later.
Ever.
Sandy came today and drove around one of the Nate figures around Kimber.
Hey, Sandy, thank you for driving around that figure. I know that wasn't easy to do. Sandy was very kind of you, Sandy. Chuck Xavier, we must not get overconfident. No, listen, we are not overconfident. We are underconfident. I'm worried we're going to get killed on Tuesday. I mean, Torin, do you got any red alert noises you can use? Like,
What is this, the Howard Stern show?
I don't have anything lined up.
Yeah.
I'll save the folks at home.
Yeah, well, you understand what I'm saying, though? This is a very, very urgent, right? Yeah, please. Hold on a second.
Want to share a call number?
Hold on a second. Let me see here. Sean O'Neill's watching. Ed, you watching? Hey, Ed. Ed Guido was my buddy growing up. Ed, how are you? We got to get together, Ed. We haven't seen each other in how long? I think I saw you at my kickoff in Clarence 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Ed, it's been too long, man. I barely talked to you that day. I miss you, Ed. You're a good man, and I would love to catch up soon. Leah, how are you, Leah? Ka Pace. Hey, guys, can I get a round of applause for Ka Pace? Ka Pace ran the stand on every corner yesterday. And where were you, Ka? You were out there on sorry, I'm using your fake alter ego. But where were you? You were on Transit Road, right? Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Sandy says, making calls with Dems in Holland today. Spoke with Dem who in 2017 joined. So how was it, Sandy? Give me an update. How's the calls? Wait, I forgot to say. Do you know how many calls we made today?
2,900.
2,900 phone calls total. I'm gonna applaud you guys. Sam over here is doing the finger snap. I like it.
I'm one-handed.
Oh, gotcha. Sam, but that 2,900 calls. How's that going?
Fantastic.
How's the overall feedback?
Everyone loves you.
Oh God, that's not true. We know that.
We're talking to.
Good. So the calls are coming. 2,900 calls, and 2,900 calls, and that's to drive out the vote, right?
Yep.
So
19,000 texts too.
yeah, guys, I gotta keep saying that. This is the name of this show today, or this broadcast, or this town hall is Closing the Gap. We have to close the gap. We still have a long way to go. So I say it every day, but it's more serious than ever. Think about who in your life has not voted. Can you drive them on Tuesday? Can you get them there to the polls? Can you make sure they turn out? Can you spread the word? Thank you to everyone who wrote those letters on the Buffalo News op-ed page today. I was shocked. If you opened up the Buffalo News op-ed page today, it was all letters that were supportive of this campaign. And I say it all the time. It's not just this campaign, it's all of us. This is our campaign because we've been all fighting for it for such a long time. And I know we have so much support across the district, and you can see the signs that are everywhere. But that Buffalo News op-ed today, it was really humbling. Marissa says, made 50 calls last night. I plan making more on Monday. I wish there was more I could do to help. Marissa, that's a ton. If everybody did what you did, we win easy. Thank you so much, Marissa. Thank you for everybody who's making phone calls from home. It's really making a difference. Now, I'll be honest with you. A friend of mine, I was going to go. But my campaign manager told me, if you go, she said she was going to quit. I was going to go to the kickoff today of Chris Jacobs' what do you call it? Get out the vote rally.
With the bullhorn.
I was going to go. Because I wanted to confront him and say, hey, will you take down your lying commercials? Because PolitiFact has now said his commercials are all lies. I never sent jobs to China. You can share that link to your friends. They've been saying it for 3 years, and for 3 years, all the major news organizations, including PolitiFact, have said it's not only not a little bit not true, it's totally not true. It's completely made up. While Delaware North, however, has exported jobs to India. We know that. So the fact that they're lying so blatantly about things that they're accusing me of, it's crazy. So you can share that with your friends, that list, or that article. But at his rally this morning, my friend was there, and he gave me a blow by blow with some video. He said that the overall tone was basically every Democrat that ever lived is horrible, which I do not believe about Republicans. I frequently talked about Republicans I like. I don't think all the Republicans are bad. I've never said that. Do I think the GOP senators and congressional people who stand behind Trump are traitorous? Yeah, I do. You can record that, make a video out of it. But I don't think every single person who voted for President Trump is a traitor. But how else could you look at this? This John Bolton book is just another piece of evidence. Now, if you're trying to create a narrative, you don't go by one anecdotal story. But when you have so many stories and such evidence of wrongdoing and criminality, he fired or removed this morning a prosecutor that was looking into the illegal activity of Trump associates like Rudy Giuliani. They were going to take imminent action against Rudy Giuliani. And they just fired him. Not because what he was doing was wrong, but because they didn't want that information to come out. Now, according to John Bolton, who took fastidious notes, John Bolton says what? He says that Trump, he did some of the most heinous things you could ever think about. He told the president of China that he could build concentration camps, that he should. It was the right thing to do. He asked him for help winning his election. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's never ending. So anyone who still stands by President Trump, and frankly, including the Buffalo News, who endorsed a person in the worst, weakest endorsement probably ever written, Jacobs, I think you're also you're complicit in the destruction of our democracy. We have to fight this man. I know people are sick of hearing about it. And sometimes people say, why don't you talk like you did in 2018, more about infrastructure and jobs and healthcare? I'm still the same guy. But it would be disingenuous for me not to address the problem of President Trump. And so I've done it, and I'll continue to do it. And I'm proud, so proud that so many of you stand with me. And thank you for standing with me. Linda, thank you. Oh, Linda, you're doing so much good. Hi, Linda. How are you? Deborah Ritz is watching. Thank you, Deborah. Deborah, I'm so glad we got to know each other better through this campaign this time, and I'm grateful for all your support. I really am. Steve, how are you? Alice Lane says Trump is a traitor. Yeah, I would agree with that. Sorry. If anyone has a problem with that, I would agree that Trump is a traitor. How about you, Hunter?
That's a traitor.
How about you, Connor? You don't got to answer.
Gross. Just say yeah.
What are your thoughts on it, Connor?
Give a thumbs up.
Yeah, you don't have. You're a smart guy. I always go to Connor because he reads everything. Connor, tell me what you think.
Everything is done up until this point has been irresponsible.
Irresponsible. He says irresponsible. I'll go a lot farther. I think he's a traitor. I think he's denying the basic principles of our Constitution, and he's denying the rule of law. He's taking us away from a republic to something very, very different. When I did the debate 2 days ago, which will air on Monday night, I couldn't believe all my opponents, besides Jacobs, who wouldn't show up, all my opponents spoke so boldly about Andrew Cuomo, but they wouldn't say a word about President Trump. I'm shocked. So where are we on the donations? Wow. Guys, can we get to 4,500 tonight so we can finish this out with 500 more tomorrow? Is there any way we can get to 4,500 tonight? If anyone out there could donate $20, we'd appreciate it. And why do we need this money? To make sure that every single vote is counted. I'm going to take legal action. Let's talk about this. In 2018, when I was running, can I tell this story? You be mad at me if I tell this whole?
I think it's public.
Okay, I'll tell the whole story. Nate McMurray, secrets. No, this is not really secrets. This is just something I want to tell you about. When 2018, when we had this election, I was in the back here, and this room was full of about 200 people. Good people, people like Sandy Chelnoff, my family, my children. And we were excited about beating Chris Collins. And compared to then to now, it seems like 1,000 years ago to me. Because even though I put so much time into that campaign, I still felt like a child politically. I really was just so new to everything. And I was in the back with some consultants, and the consultants were not bad people. They were fine people, but they had a formula. And they showed me the formula, and they said, you're going to lose by a significant margin. Now, the human part of me said, well, I can't put these people through a whole night of suffering if we're going to lose by that much. So I came out and I said, everyone go home. We're not going to make it. We're going to fall a little bit short. And I had trusted this formula. Soon, it was clear that wasn't the case. And by the way, there was people on my team at that night, including Nicole Hushler over here, including Matt Deering, if you're watching. A lot of people came up to me and said, are you crazy? Don't trust that. Fight. But I felt like, I don't know, I didn't want people in here sad for the whole night. I know, it sounds crazy, but that's what I did. I saw my children, I saw my family, and I said, I can't put everybody through this. If this is really an accurate predictor. Soon we realized how close it was, and then we fought for every single vote. I learned from that you never assume anything. So on election night, we're not going to declare victory or loss, because most of the ballots are not going to be counted until 8 days later. So we're going to be here election night, probably broadcasting and talking to you about what we're seeing, but we are not declaring victory or loss until we know it's 100% certain, and we are going to go legally and fight for every single ballot. And if Chris Jacobs, you're watching, I know you got the most expensive lawyers in the world. You got that whole thing wrapped up pretty easy the other day at the DA's office, didn't you? But we're also lawyered up, and we have some good people on our side, and we're going to fight for every single vote. And I want everyone out there who's helping fight for us to understand that we are not giving up until every single vote is cast. But let's first make sure every single vote is cast. So get everybody out there. All right, any questions from the people listening? The excuses that people make for Trump's behavior and lies are outrageous. What do you guys think? What does that to you guys? Everyone's like, I guess. No, they're outrageous. They're outrageous. The Trump rally speech was very scary. Yeah, it's totally scary. It's the scariest thing I ever saw. Austin, what do you think? Did you watch any of it?
He spent 15 minutes yelling the word ramp, talking about how his leather shoes couldn't get him down.
He couldn't stop saying the word ramp.
R-A-M-P?
Sandy says a home of Republicans in Holland flipped and voted for me, according to one Dem. Well, look, we need a lot of families like that, but whoever that family is, thank you. It's the only way we can win. Hey, Dana, how are you? Jane, how are you? Always good to see Jane Maslow, one of my favorite Facebook posters. Kathy Selinsky, I love you, from Grand Island. Thank you for your support for these many years. You and I think we see eye to eye on a lot of issues. Alice Elaine says she can't. Alice, I got to get you in here election night. We're not going to do a full house, but you're one of the people I want to have here. So will you come? Alice, you're a great person. Jane Maslow, hey Nate, I was trying to squeeze some money out of my cousin for the campaign. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate it. We need it to pay for the final stretch here. You're going to see a lot more digital ads over the next few days. We're trying to push as much as we can. We're trying to do it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. Dave Hodson, Nate, we voted for you. Values count. Absolutely they do, Dave. They count more than anything. Party should count. Hey, come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here, my friend. How are you? How are you? Hey, Marty. Marty's got a new handkerchief, or well, not a handkerchief. What do you call that? Neckerchief. Darcel just donated $100. Retired letter carrier. Oh, I love the letter carriers. Thank you so much. Oh, I did something wrong. Sorry. Linda says she loves Alice. Everybody does. Alice is just a unique person, and I love talking to her. If you need to laugh, go to my page right below the Buffalo News editorials. Okay, I will. So the dog's a sweetheart. Yes, the dog is absolutely a sweetheart. We're up to how much? $4,286. We want to raise $200 more, and then I'm going to go home and snuggle up with my dog. 7 of us isolated here at the farm, and we all voted by mail for y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. Alice Lane says the letter carriers are awesome. Yes, they are. And they're underappreciated massively. Kelly Doe says Marty's the best. Oh, yes, Marty is the best. Jody White, Trump is a loser. Spare him no thoughts. Yeah, he is. Well, I have to spare him thoughts because his family's attacking me every day. I got to think about him a little bit. I mean, it's a problem. I was out all over NY27 today. I saw so many Confederate flags. I saw so many Trump 2020 signs still. And that's what we're up against. Do not take this for granted. We are up against that. I mean, I can't. Look, when I see these homes, sometimes I see homes with that are people that are obviously struggling. And sometimes I see a Jacob sign in front of one of those houses, and I think, I wish I could talk to every single one of you guys because you're voting for someone who's going to take away all the things that are protecting you and your family, including pre-existing conditions, including Social Security. Mark my words. This guy is not going to fight for the working people. That's what his history of office and service tells us. Katie, sorry. We have to think about Trump, or we're going to have another 4 years. Absolutely. Christopher says, you think more about Trump's family than he does. Probably. Augustine, do you think Stefan Mihailou will split the vote in your favor? Do you have any polling? No, we have polling that it's going to be close, but what we're afraid of is that there's a lot of Republicans going to vote on Tuesday because there's going to be Stefan Mihailou voters, there's going to be Beth Parlato voters, and there's going to be Jacobs voters. There's only going to be McMurray voters. So that means a lot of Republicans. A lot of Republicans know there's an election on Tuesday. Not a lot of Democrats do. So you have to go vote. How can I say this over and over again? Push the vote out. Talk to your friends. If you think we're just going to vote with the people on this Facebook feed, we're never going to win. We have to talk to our friends. I know many of you are doing it. Austin, how do they help us make phone calls for the next 2 days?
Email volunteers@votemcmurray.com.
Email hunter@votemcmurray.com. Hunter is hunting votes. Email hunter@votemcmurray.com. Hunter is hunting votes. Help him out. Guys, we don't need you to make 100 calls a day. Even if everybody on this feed made 20 calls a day, which you can do from home very easily, it would make a difference. Our team is making how many calls a day? 200 calls a day minimum. Per person. And that's killing you, huh?
Yes. No.
How you feeling?
Feel great.
Well, y'all look happy and well considering how many calls you're making.
Yes.
Connor, it's good to see you. Connor, how long you been around?
Been around here since March, but in the office just about 12 hours ago.
Connor was hiding out for us for too long.
Staying safe.
Connor took social distancing to a whole new level. Oh, Sandra just donated $100. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Woo!
We're $100 away from our goal. $100. We'll get there. And I'm sorry you got to see me talk, but that's the only entertainment we have. That and a dog. So. Why don't Democrats know about Tuesday? Well, lots of reasons. First of all, it's an odd day to have an election. Second of all, they see, no matter how much money we spend on television, we're not going to be able to drown out all the other ads, which everyone sees are about a Republican primary. And even if you read the newspaper in some places, they don't even know it's a special election. It's like they're confused about what the election is and who's on the ballot. It's not an easy situation for any of us. And guys, thank you, considering how complex this has been, how well you've organized things, and how much you pushed. Sounds weird if I clap on myself, but thank you. Cheer yourself. Cheer yourself along here. Trump is I already read that one. Trump is a loser. How could we talk about Trump? I go back and forth about it too. I thought in the past, can we not talk about Trump? But I think we have to talk about Trump. If you do ignore it, people start to normalize it. I think you all have to talk about it on Facebook, on Twitter, even when it's not comfortable. Can I give you my rules of internet engagement, which I'm not always great at, but I think this works the best? Interact with people online but don't get into those rabbit hole debates. It's usually a unilateral forum where you say, this is what I believe. Do you know where that word trolling comes from, right? It comes from the fishing term trolling, where they throw a hook out. People think it's a troll under a bridge. That's not how the word trolling started. It comes from fishing, where you throw a hook out and you drag it in the water and you hope you grab somebody. So sometimes we think we're in these internet debates where we're debating people and we're helping solve the world's problems. No, some people are just hooking you, and they like the argument. They like to be fed. So that's the argument. That's when you say don't feed the trolls. So I tell people, don't feed the trolls. Be engaged online, share your opinions, do not get in those rabbit hole discussions. Have I made that mistake in the past? Absolutely. But I've learned the hard way. The best way to interact with people on the internet is share your opinion and respectfully listen to theirs, and don't take it into a 25 or 35 post nightmare back and forth. It never gets resolved. And too often we can't really read other people's emotions on the internet, or we don't even know who they are. And I think sometimes if we saw who these people really were and why we were fighting with them, we wouldn't care so much, because we'd see a lot of them are just not normal people, or people that have some serious mental problems. So, but be vocal. Share your opinions vocally, and many people on this line are doing that. Jody White. Hi, good to see you, Jody. Christian, how are you? Good to see you. Got to call him out every time. Absolutely, Linda, I agree. This is no time for pleasantries and niceties. I mean, if you were living in any other country where there's a rise of a dictator, and what bothers me, like when I see in the New York Times or even other reputable newspapers, is they'll say racist like, or traitorous, or traitorous, but not that he's a traitor. They'll use like softer languages or qualifiers. No, let's say honestly what he is. I like what Susan Rice had to say today, that he's so boldly racist, we need to call him out. I agree with that 100%. Bob Hoffman, better a good example than a great sermon. Absolutely. Darcel Cole, have you reached out to any of the labor unions for help with phone banking? Yes. I got to make that clear. Beyond everything we're doing, the labor unions are also phone banking right now. They're pushing like crazy, a lot of them. The Teamsters are doing it, right?
Yeah, they do their own, they're really good at, they do their own phone banking.
Thank you to the Teamsters for your support. I know you're phone banking right now. I know the AFL-CIO has done some. Who else is at it? Where'd my labor guy go? He left the room. A lot of the unions right now are working hard to push people out to the polls. And I'm proud to be the candidate in this race who supports labor. And my opponent, remind people, he attacks labor as big labor. It's wrong. We are $10 away from our goal, guys. $10 away from our goal. Yes, exactly, Christopher. They say racist undertones. Say what it really is. Sue Hemingway, Nealon, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Linda, stunning, incredulous, ridiculous. Call them out, 100%. I'll do it. Can I read the letters that we got in the Buffalo News today? I thought they were pretty great. Is that too self-absorbent or indulgent rather? I love those letters.
Post the links if we already all posted them.
Buffalo News opinion page, Saturday, June 20th. Now, why am I happy about this? Is because I think the coverage of the Buffalo News has been awful, terrible. I mean, incredible. They'll nitpick something I said 5 years ago on Twitter, but they won't say one thing about hundreds of thousands of dollars of false ads. It's driving me crazy. But and then also the editorial. What do the editorials say? We like who Christopher Jacobs used to be. We think who he used to be, but he's not that person today. It's like saying, like I said, it's like saying I like the Chicago Bulls. They're going to win the championship this year because Michael Jordan played for them 20 years ago. It doesn't make any. Or I like Godfather 3 because Godfather 1 was so great. It doesn't make any sense. It's shocking that they would say that, but they did. So here are some of the letters. McMurray plans to help constituents in his district. For people paying attention, we know Nate McMurray's plans. He focuses hard on health care, Social Security, immigration, economic development, and infrastructure. How his positions will benefit the district is the key for our district and has been sorely missing for years. Chris Jacobs just promises more of the same, which has not worked for us. Nancy Seller. Thank you, Nancy, in Silver Lake, one of the most beautiful places in all of NY27. The News should have endorsed McMurray as it once did. The NY27 race matters. The Buffalo News endorsed Nate McMurray last time and say he's even stronger now. He can be seen everywhere in our huge district as he makes it his business to travel the district and know the local people. By the way, I'm so proud of that because I think we've set a precedent that everyone will have to follow in the future. He has the pulse of NY27. McMurray is a gun owner and will protect health care and fight for farms and small business. No one knows who Chris Jacobs is except for family wealth. Even after $500,000 in Trump-style ads since April, money helps, but it's not everything. Take Jacobs at his word. Jacobs tells us he wants to be a water boy for Donald Trump, the bullying law and order president, who cut a long list of over 30 of our environmental protections. We should, did you say over there?
You did.
I'm only laughing because Kate, our communications director, no matter what I write, she tries to slip in some environmental, it's like her passion. No matter, I'll write anything I write, no matter what, like any press release, I'll look at it and she'll be like, slowly weaving in some climate change thing. I'm glad you're passionate about it. You need to be. Carol says that. Thank you so much. We should already know this Trump-endorsed New York State Senator. I agree with you, Carol. Newfane, by the way, grew up very close to it. Do not repeat past mistakes for a GOP candidate. I believe that the news endorsement of Chris Jacobs is way off base. The last thing NY27 needs is another lying Trump sycophant. 100%. We need representatives in Congress who look out for our needs, the needs of the middle class and poor, not another corporate lackey intent on enriching the already wealthy with corporate welfare, while working families find it difficult to earn enough to pay for housing, let alone everything else. We need representatives who are going to move universal health care forward. Jacobs is not that person. Nate McMurray needs our vote in NY27. Don't keep making the same mistakes that will hurt or further hinder progress in my country. Mary Lou. Thank you, Mary Lou. I mean it very greatly. McMurray is the right choice above his Republican opponent. In my decades of reading the Buffalo News, I can't remember a more poorly reasoned endorsement. Neither can I. And I used to carry the Buffalo News when there was a big box in front of my house. I was ashamed to see that, not just because it hurts me as a candidate, just because I was ashamed that our region is going to endorse a guy like Chris Jacobs that's that soft and that's weak and has suddenly changed who he is overnight. Seriously, how could the editorial board base an endorsement on the way a candidate used to act in years past, rather than on the way the candidate is acting right now? Chris Jacobs may, in a past reincarnation, have been a conservative committed to working with others to address real issues. But he certainly is not that now. He's a pathetic Trump sycophant, willing to sell his soul to the devil in exchange for the support of the lowest common denominator of voters in this district. He has hitched his star to Donald Trump with his eyes open, and because of that choice, he's willing to be on the wrong side of history. In fact, the endorsement appears to be based on a conclusion that because the 27th is the state's most Republican congressional district, we should be saddled with whatever poor excuse of Republican that party decides to foist on us. No, thank you. Very well written. In Nate McMurray, we have a candidate who will work only for the people who vote for him, but for every citizen in the 27th district. How he could be labeled as a not especially strong candidate defies credibility. We don't need another privileged, lackluster, mealy-mouthed sycophant to represent the good people of NY27. Basically, their whole argument is this: we like Chris Jacobs because he's a Republican, and we'll vote for a Republican because no matter who the Democrat is, they're not going to be good for NY27 unless they're a moderate Democrat who really doesn't stand for anything. And I will always stand for something. Okay, I'm going to stop reading these, but I appreciate everyone who wrote a letter. I really do. Your letters are more important than any advertisement we can make, and I'm grateful for them. Boy, let me see here. Torin, you okay back there? You running good? Low on gas? Torin, can I say something to you? Or are you going to be uncomfortable? Torin, I love you. You're a good young man. I really do. I love who you are and who you're growing to be as a man. I'm not sorry if that's
Love you too, brother.
I just think you're so great, and I think you've come so far since I first met you. And you were great. Sorry, I just sound like a backhanded comment. No, like when I first, we were both complete, as my children would say, noobs, right? and now we're pros. You've like when I see you back, all the stuff you do and all your technical know-how, you've always had that. But it's just your way you carry yourself and your discipline and the way you keep me and a lot of us calm. I'm just grateful for it.
I
Me too,
appreciate it,
Tori.
I appreciate you,
They're-
and I love the work that we've done together.
Me too. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Every time I see you, I'm proud of you. I really am. So I'm just gonna say that because I don't think you get enough credit. None of you do, but I'm looking at Torrin right now, and he's just
That's really what predicated it.
no. When I came in earlier and I was on the road today, like usually you're with me on the road. When I came in earlier today, I saw you and I was like, I really miss him, and I just like I know you're doing a lot of stuff in the office, and I'm grateful.
Wishes you were staffing him today, not me.
No, it's not true. I love him. Thanks for coming out to Warsaw today. I'm late on getting on tonight but everyone appreciated your words today. Cynthia, I loved your words today. I thought they were spot on.
Yeah.
You really well done. Hey, by the way, I had to transfer all my stuff in my phone over to a database of all my phone numbers to the team. Don't ask why. Can you tell Cynthia what her name was in my phone?
Cindy Appetin.
Cindy Appetin of Wyoming.
Spelled W-H-Y.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Cindy. When I first met you, I must have put your phone number in wrong. It's so funny how long, it seems like eons ago, but here we are, still fighting. Yeah, Cindy, that was a great event. And by the way, did you guys notice we went to a Black Lives Matter demonstration today in Warsaw? All young kids, well, not all, but a lot of young kids, and then a lot of hardcore Democratic leadership. No Republicans. I haven't seen any Republicans at any of the Black Lives Matter protests or demonstrations at all. And 99% have been extremely peaceful. I haven't seen any. No Mahailu, no Parlato, no Jacobs, no elected officials. And also, let's be honest, not that many Democratic elected officials either. Very few. But today in Warsaw, probably 60 people. And it's a small town, we know that, beautiful small town. And we marched to the town, and when we first started, we had a little speech. And behind us, there's this guy with a Jacob sign and a Trump sign, sitting on his porch, drinking a beer, and just spewing negativity towards us. And he was a fireman. I saw by the, I'm going to say, yeah, he was a fireman. I could see by the regalia he had around his house, and it just made me sad. I mean, I don't know why he's so angry. Why he's so angry at those young people out there like that. I don't know why he's so angry at me. I would have loved to talk to him, but I mean, he looked inebriated, and I was so proud of those young people because they didn't yell back at him. They just gave their speeches, and we marched in humble resolve, and I was so impressed by that. And listen, I'm more immature, I guess, than some of those kids because I said to Nicole over here, I said, I'm going to go talk to that guy. She's like, don't do it. It's not worth it. But, the less evolved part of me wanted to confront him. And, I was impressed by those young people who, instead of doing that, they just stayed on message. They stayed on point, and they walked. I loved it. It was really beautiful to see. I could be a bonsai tree if you're okay. I'm not sure if I follow that one, Alice. Alice, the racism that I have observed lately has been awful. Yeah, me too. We're over our goal. I'm just going to go a little bit longer. What's his name? Let's get a racist fired. I don't know what his name was. He didn't say anything in particularly racist. I don't know. He did. He taunted. He didn't use any. I didn't hear any. Slurs, but I heard he was just very disrespectful, angry.
The firefighter?
Lynn says, "Are you wearing sunscreen when you're out about?" No, I'm not.
See, it's not just me.
No, I'm like totally roasted, toasted every day. But yeah, like right now, I'm like, I'm gonna have to sleep tonight because I'm a little bit burned. Standing with the young people in Hamburg was great. They were respectful of every single car that passed, even the ones that flipped the bird. Yeah, but why would anybody flip the bird? What's the point? I hate you for trying to stand up for human rights? I just don't understand why people would do that. Cindy Appleton. Cindy, did you see that guy out there today? I'm sure you did. He yelled the whole time you gave your speech. Why would he do that? I guess, there's like young kids out there. Like he's yelling at like high school kids. It's just crazy to me. Lynn says, skin cancer, all capitals. Yeah, well, I'll be more careful.
Aw.
There was a late article in New York Times today that early data says no uptick in infections because of masks. Yeah, the masks are working. I got a lot of heat today because I played basketball with some kids in Batavia and I didn't wear a mask. You're right, I should have worn a mask. It was 90 degrees outside and I wanted to play basketball and I feel bad about it. I guess we can only learn from the mistake. I won't do it again. But I loved playing basketball with those kids. It was a blast. I appreciated those. It was just fun to be with people again. And I couldn't resist. They said, come play. And I said, I'm going to play. Kate McCardle, you're watching. You're right here.
Yeah.
Oh, Cindy says, yes, I know him. Cindy, who is he?
He
Oh.
wouldn't even make his own comments. He was playing recordings.
He was playing recordings, yeah. Cindy, I'm sorry about that. Dana says, Nate, what would you do to end the school to prison pipeline? They use second grade failure rates as to predict future prison populations. I didn't know they did that, but I can tell you this. We all know when kids get locked into a certain course or trajectory in school, they're stuck on that trajectory. I think that's very, very harmful to young people. And I also think we have too many people in prison in this country. Alice, who's on here, Alice says, wear my mask. Alice, I tell this story all the time because I think it's so fascinating. Alice was in prison, and she'll tell you, she wasn't in prison for anything. She's in prison for protesting. It's some shocking stuff. They sent Alice Elaine to prison. What a waste of government resources. Alice, no offense, you're not that intimidating of a character. They could have gave you a slap on the wrist, a misdemeanor, but they sent you to prison for protesting. It's shocking. I can't believe it. And she was in there for a while. And she learned to be a master gardener. Alice, you got to write a book about all. Oh, Alice, there was a book written about Alice. Alice was in the book Orange is the New Black. Yeah, she was featured in that book. Right, Alice? Am I saying the right story here? I think I am.
That's cool.
Sandy was, when is the New York Times article to be published? I hope tomorrow, and I hope it's positive. You never know. Use sunscreen with zinc. Hey, Dan Jones. I think Dan Jones is from Batavia. So Alice was in prison, and one of the things, I talked to her about it a lot because I was fascinated by it. And Alice told me when she was in prison, one of the things she dealt with the most was a lot of moms were in prison because of racketeering laws. What prosecutors would do is they would try to get everybody in the household if there was a drug offense. So let's say you had a husband or a boyfriend that was selling narcotics and he was arrested. They would arrest the wife or girlfriend, even if they were totally not involved, and even if they were in an abusive relationship. Many times they would be prosecuted as being part of a criminal enterprise. Yeah, it's crazy. And these people would go to jail for long periods of time, and they would miss their children desperately, and they would do things that any father or mother would do, like when they were given a brief parole, overstay their parole to stay with the children, or in some extreme cases, actually leave the prison because it was a lower security prison. They would try to escape the prison. And so small penalties would turn into years in prison. And these people would miss their children. They would miss their homework. They would miss the whole process of being a mother or a father because of these drug offenses. Alice, am I talking conspiracy laws? That's right, Alice. That's right. Alice is hardcore. Well, she is hardcore gardener. Alice, you should write a book about your experience. I find it incredibly fascinating. And I think if more people knew how you were treated, they'd be shocked. Patrick Burke from Batavia is watching. Patrick, I was in your town today. Lots of support out there, it looks like. They got longer sentences for asking for a trial. Yeah, because it was a conspiracy case, so they would fight and say, I didn't do anything wrong, and therefore the book would be thrown at them instead of taking a plea deal. Okay, we broke our goal, Torin. Did we? Okay, $4,514. We have to hit 5,000. We have $500 more to make it, and we're done doing these broadcasts. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. Mary Lou, I loved your article. I love your letter today, and I will use zinc. The usual stuff is bad for the environment and destroys coral reefs. I'll look into it. I didn't know that, but I'll look into it. Trump camp blames protesters and media for small turnout. Hey, come here. You miss me still? Yes. Yeah. This dog. Come here. Come up here. Come up here. Can you get up here? Come up here, Marty. Come on.
She's old.
Come
You
on.
might force her.
Can I hug her? Will I hurt her? Come here.
Oh, Marty.
Come on, Marty. Come on, Marty. Come on, Marty. My baby. You okay? I'll get you down. You be careful. You be careful. You be careful. See you later. You still want to see? Where's her ball? Anyone got it? Oh, it's okay. Yeah. All right. I think we're done.
A hell of an ending.
Oh, Dana Marie, how are you? We'll keep doing this for a while, but yeah, I'm exhausted. I'll be honest with you. I put a lot of time into the day. You guys tired?
No. Nope.
Let's finish this strong. What's tomorrow's goals?
50,000 calls. 50,000.
What's our goals tomorrow?
$100 million raise.
What's our goal tomorrow?
3,000 calls.
Can we make that? Let's make that.
Yeah, we made 2,800 today. Yes, 3,000. We can do 3,000. 3,000.
Can I see that?
Or not to hit the goal.
Three.
Oh.
I think I can catch a ball.
Yes, you could.
All the hands.
3,000. This is a lacrosse ball.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
What is this then?
Give that. It's a little ball. It's not lacrosse. That's not a lacrosse.
What is that?
It's totally lacrosse.
Oh, it is a lacrosse ball.
Yeah, I thought it.
It's a Nosky lacrosse ball.
I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say I've been hit by a lacrosse ball. That's not it. No, it's.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. We're gonna try to make 3,000 calls tomorrow. Austin, what else? By the way, the listeners, the viewers don't really ask us any questions anymore. I think they know my answers and everything now. I always hope some Republicans get on here and troll me so I can talk to them. They never do. I always hope they will. They never do.
No, they just shake at debates.
So yeah, they did shake, didn't they? 3,000 calls tomorrow we're gonna make. That's a lot of calls, guys.
But we can do it.
We can do. Oh yeah, if you do it, I'm gonna cry. It's gonna be great.
How do you personally feel with 3 days left?
How do I personally feel with 3 days left? I feel like it's ours to lose, and if we don't get people out on Tuesday, it's gonna be sad, because we did everything right up to this point. I just need to get you guys people out on Tuesday. Listen, we might get crushed on Tuesday. I don't know, but I tell you, we're right. All this has led up to this moment. We are right where we need to be. We just gotta make sure people get on Tuesday, and that's what the calls are about. You guys are telling them now to go Tuesday, right? We've shifted from saying early vote to Tuesday.
Well, tomorrow's the last day of early vote. They can
Okay, we'll do that tomorrow.
In
But
Erie County, 12 to 6 tomorrow.
you got to tell them both.
Yeah.
Marty, you want this ball? You want to play with it?
Get it, Marty.
Come on, Marty. Come on, Marty. Come on, Marty.
Oh, look at her face.
Go get it.
Terrible. JK, Marty.
What was that all about? All right. See you, Marty. Have a good night. All right. So listen.
Good night, Amanda, too. Good night.
Oh, Virginia, my family voted today. That's 4 for you. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we got to squeeze the votes out. So everybody think, who has not voted yet? Because even all the hard work we did, we still haven't won. We're not even close. We got to make sure Democrats go to the polls on Tuesday. Go to the polls on Tuesday. And that's also for other candidates like who?
John Rivera.
John Rivera. John Rivera's a great guy.
Assembly 149.
Assembly 149. That's not in my district, but he's a great guy.
Part of it is Hamburg.
Part of it is Hamburg. Oh, that's right. It is,
Yes.
isn't it? I'm sorry. Yeah, he should have known that. I apologize, John. But we got votes. We got other people to vote for Tuesday. Get out there and vote, okay? How are you doing, McCardle?
I'm great.
Okay.
I'm freaking great. Kathy McCardle is great. Young woman.
Mike Bennett, how are you? Mike Bennett, you trying to wait, Jane? I didn't understand your post there. Diane, how are you? Mark, good to see you. Anybody else I need to say hi to? Polly, how you doing? What are the BOE counts now? Cindy, go back to the beginning of the tape if you can make it. We're in pretty good shape. I mean, it's going to come down to Tuesday. Like I said, we did everything we needed to do up until this point. Why do you think Trump is tweeting? Why do you think Donnie Jr. is saying this stuff? Why do you think Kimberly Guilfoyle's here? Because we're doing everything we needed to do. We just have to finish strong. I told that finish strong story yesterday. Anybody can start. Who can finish? We got 3 days left to prove we can finish. We know we're underdogs. Everyone, like, people come up to me and they think like we're the favorites. We are not the favorites. We are the massive, massive, massive underdogs, statistically speaking. If we win this, it's going to be darn close to a miracle. But we're about to do it if it depends on Tuesday. So we should be excited, but we got to finish strong, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys look so tired.
Not very.
That's like an offensive thing to say to some people, right? You look tired?
Yeah.
Why?
I've
Doesn't me-
I've
what?
been told that every day for the last 4 years.
You look wide awake. Sorry. County Judge Mike Bennett in Niagara County. That's right, Jane. Let's go, Mike. I'm thrilled Connor is back working with you. Our internet is working better, and I got my recliner back.
Hi, Mom.
Andy wrote.
I want that chair back.
Is that your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom.
So Andy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're taking her recliner?
It's not her recliner. It's a family recliner.
So it's your recliner.
This guy over
That
here.
he's been squatting on for 2 months.
Been social distancing.
Yeah, and he I asked him about, I don't know, a month ago. I said, "You gonna come back?" He's like, no. He's like, I'm not. I don't. He didn't feel safe yet. But we're social distancing in this office, aren't we?
Yeah.
No,
Keep some
absolutely.
space. Keep some space. Keep those windows open. Kick a hole in the wall if you have to. I know. Should we get some fans for real? There's not many of us in here, and it's a big space. But should we get some fans to circulate the air? I might go get some tomorrow morning. Open that back door too. I know we're
No,
trying,
there's an
but
alarm on the back door.
what? Safety? Okay. Someone could come in. I don't know about. Said like a mom. Only a mom would say that. I'm gonna write.
I would protect your name.
Oh, Marin, I would love if you did that. She's gonna write McMurray on the windows and drive around. That's the kind of stuff we need, guys. I mean, we are grassroots as it gets. I mean, and all these young people have taken serious sacrifices to work on this campaign. Guys, I'm never gonna be able to make it up to you. You did great things, especially during COVID. I'll never forget it.
You're gonna win. That's why.
Let's hope
That's
we
how you
win.
make it up.
Win.
That's how you make it up.
Live long and prosper. Yes. Did I do that right?
All right, not like that.
Why did you say live long and prosper, though? That's what I want. Don't blow the virus. Polly, we're doing our best. Polly, thank you for when you've come in to get signs and stuff, you always wear a mask. I appreciate that greatly. Cynthia says hard work will pay off. I hope so. I hope so. All right. Guys, I'm gonna call it a day. Sorry I didn't have that much inspirational thoughts for you. I did my best. I am trying to finish strong. Low on gas here, but we're trying to get to the end. Anything you guys want to add? Anything I should add to the team here? Get out the vote. You plus 2. Can we do that chant one more time?
You plus 2.
You plus 2.
You plus 2. You plus 2.
You plus 2. You plus 2. You